What are the best places to visit in Oslo, Norway? Number 1, Vigeland Park. Whether you like art or not, a stroll through the suggestive Vigeland Sculpture Park is one of those things you have to do in Oslo, yes or yes. And do not look at us with that face, you know it's a great place, so go and then tell us what you think about this famous space that, besides being a good place for a picnic or a walk, will allow you to know firsthand the legacy of the great sculptor. In total, 212 life-size granite and bronze sculptures are representing various moods and expressions. The most amazing is the huge monolith of 14 meters, a carved column made of a single stone in which you can count up to 121 human figures. Next door there is a museum dedicated to Vigeland, but you may have had enough with the park. Number 2, Norwegian Museum of Cultural History. This huge green space, white when snow covers it, on the Big Day Peninsula is the ideal place to get acquainted with Norwegian history and culture. Located completely outdoors, the Norwegian Museum of Cultural History is open all year and you can see 155 historic buildings brought from all parts of the country, among which stands out the delicate and beautiful wooden church gall. The 13th century. Stroll among cabins, farms, and sheds and immerse yourself in the most rural Norway without leaving Oslo. Number 3, Akershus Fortress. The fortress of Akershus is one of the main icons of Oslo, and possibly of Norway. Located on the edge of the fjord, from the top of its walls the views are great, but inside it hides much more than you could imagine. Cross its thick medieval gates and enter the majestic buildings and museums of a 13th century fortress that today serves as a large park. Take your time and enjoy, if you can, the sunset. Your eyes will thank you. Number 4, Viking Ship Museum. That its small dimensions do not deter you. The Museum of the Viking ships in Oslo should be almost a must-see, even if you have not swallowed the whole series of Vikings. See in person the two best preserved Viking ships on the planet is not something that can be done every day, and it will not leave you cold at all. You can see how huge and incredibly stylized they were, enjoy their details and learn more about the ancestors of the Norwegians who terrorized half of Europe with their looting. Number 5, Opera House. The gleaming white and geometric Norwegian Opera is a marble and glass building that in a few years has become a favorite of Oslo citizens and tourists alike. Its innovative architecture, its reflection on the water day and night and the views from its roof are some of the things you should do. If you have time, sign up for one of the most interesting guided tours that show you your futuristic interior. Scandinavian design in its purest form. Number 6, Fram Museum. Maybe you're thinking that with the Viking ships you've had enough, but as soon as you set foot in the amazing Fram Museum your eyes will open like saucers and your jaw will be dislodged. This huge mass was the ship used by the Norwegian explorers Nansen, Sverdrup, Wisting, and Amundsen between 1893 and 1912 to explore the Arctic and Antarctic. You can get on board and discover, as if not a single day had passed, in what conditions the adventurers who traveled in it lived. Number 7, Holmenkollen. Even non-skiing enthusiasts will enjoy Holmenkollen. The famous ski jump, which can be reached by subway, was recently rebuilt and is something that, if you have time, you should not miss in Oslo. Head over to the ski museum or climb to the top and enjoy the panoramic views of the city. In winter, when everything is snowy you will see a white paradise, and in the long and sunny summer days, a horizon of greens and blues will spread before your eyes. Number 8, Munch Museum. How many times have you seen the famous painting of Elgrito de Munch? Well, if you want to know more about one of Norway's most famous artists and, by the way, see more expressionist works signed by his brush, you have to spend a couple of hours at the Munch Museum in Oslo, an interesting option only for the very fanatical of its production, because if you only want to see his most famous work you will only have to go to the National Gallery, where they have the best known version of it. Number 9, Art and Creativity in Grünerløkka. Oslo is a city with a great cultural life, many shops, and an impressive alternative scene. We recommend that you dedicate a few hours of your time in the Norwegian capital to stroll through the streets full of urban art from the very hipster neighborhood of Grünerløkka. Here you can go to vintage stores, enjoy some of the most modern coffee shops in the city and enjoy a creative environment in constant boiling. Number 10, Oslo City Hall. Seen from the outside, one would never say that the brown brick mass of the Oslo City Hall is a space with so much light and color. The administrative headquarters of the capital of Norway hide inside a spectacular collection of decorations that go through the history, culture and local working life. Vibrant colors, emotion and a feeling of being in front of a true masterpiece will overwhelm you. They are not always open, so check the schedules on their website. Number 11, National Gallery of Norway. There is much more to the artistic history of Norway than Munch. And if you go through the fabulous National Gallery of Norway, you can witness the variety of styles that have been given throughout the history of art in this Scandinavian country. They have a bit of everything, but do not miss their collection of Nordic landscape works and some of the best pieces of the great Munch. The tour continues until today, with temporary exhibitions that would surprise anyone. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos.